We've got all the latest news on, you guessed it, Declan Rice. All of the news. It's coming next. It's heating up. And it's right here on West Owl Official. Well, we are going to start with Declan Rice, of course, and according to reports, it's all come out this morning. Man City are expected, or if not, if they haven't, they are going to bid for Declan Rice with varying offers. I've had 75 plus 15 add-ons. I've had 95 plus 15 add-ons. Somewhere in the region of £90 million is the first bid that Man City are expected to put in for Declan Rice, sending shivers down the spines of the Arsenal board. Man City sold Ilkay Gundogan yesterday to Barcelona, and their replacement they are readying is Declan Rice, of course, after Arsenal's pathetic 60 plus 15, 70 plus 15 bids that they've put in over the last week or so. They've been very pedestrian and lackluster with their bids, and it looks like Man City are going to come in and swoop the England international. And to be honest, it's the second best thing. Of course, I want him to stay at the club, but if he doesn't, the place I want him to go is Manchester City. The guy wants trophies, and he's not going to get that at Arsenal, so I'd love it if he goes to the Etihad. Right, let's take some of your comments then. Let's see who we got in. Fathead, so pleased to see you coming for Rice. So I Hammerhead, hope you well. Fathead says now we might get the value and he can leave and win stuff. Exactly. Terry, hope you're well, mate. Peter says all rumours now. X hasn't officially confirmed the bid because I don't think it's actually got in yet. But some people have confirmed. Some sources, David Ornstein has said that the bid is going in today. Some people, I think a Man City source has said the bid has gone in the region of £90 million. So we're in that period where some people think it has, some people think it doesn't. But a bid is definitely going to go in. That's what the major top sources are saying. Jay says I can still see higher bids coming in for Rice. Hamhead says I hope he goes to City. It's the only place he can go if he wants to win things like he says he does. Fathead says I think it'll be 50 million plus Phillips opening offer. Unfortunately, no, I don't think they've put a player into the first bid. From what we've heard is straight up cash, and it's going to be in it's going to be in that region. Let's all laugh at Arsenal. We do. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny. We will wait to see what X says. I trust X. I don't know. We'll see, Fathead. But yeah, that's the news. And I sort of had exams are done now. I had a lie-in this morning. So what did I get up about 11 o'clock? Oh, crikey. What's happened there? I got up about 11 o'clock. Oh, here we go. City are in. Happy days. Let's go. And I was absolutely buzzing to see that. And, we all didn't want him to go to Arsenal, and it looks like we're going to get our wish now. Which is so good, which is so good. It's the second best thing for me. Of course, we all want him to stay at the club. That goes without saying. When some fans say, well, it's not the best thing, is it? Because you want him to stay. No, we all want him to stay. That goes without saying. But the next best thing is him moving to Man City. We've got them on the last day of the season up at the Etihad. That will be an interesting day for sure. But I think we'll reject this first offer if we're honest. If it is in the region of £90 million, I think we will reject it because we know City are going to come in with more. Of course, the first bid is always going to be slightly less than they're willing to go to. That's how these things work. But Arsenal have just taken the mick. They've completely taken the mick with 60 plus 15 unrealistic add-ons. City have come in with a proper first bid, and we will politely decline it. And I'll 100% expect them to come back in with a bid then north of £100 million, and we'll go, there you go, jobs are good and done, and we'll get the deal over the line. So, of course, this isn't, this is by far done. We may well see a Chelsea and Man United come in to rustle a few more feathers here, but we knew as soon as City were going to come in, then we knew that we were going to get somewhere, and we knew things were going to get serious. The bidding war that we all wanted is now beginning before our very eyes, and Man City are a serious club, and they're going to put some serious money on the table. What this leaves now for Arsenal is that they are going to have to move swiftly, X has said, and get a bid accepted if they've got any chance now, because City, we believe now, are probably in pole position with a better bid they're going to put in and it's a first bid as well, so we're expecting a second one. And Arsenal are now on the back foot and will need to put the money that we've told them onto the table if they stand any chance of getting Declan Rice's signature. Let's take some more. I'd love Arsenal to lose out. So would I. Fact says 11 o'clock, day basically over. Well, I woke up about 8:30. I'm like, oh, 8:30, and I just fell back asleep again. Curtis, hope you are. Personally, City will win trophies. Well, Arsenal, that's subjective. Arsenal, no. They might win the odd trophy, but if you want the trophies, you just got to look. City won the treble last year, and they won't win no trophies next season. They'll win the league again next year, barring a miracle or Newcastle going absolutely mental, in my personal opinion. Then they'll have a good chance at the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Champions League. So it wouldn't surprise me if they went and did the treble again. I know they've lost some key players. Gundogan, I think Bernardo Silva's off as well, but if they're going to replace them with decent players, and could you imagine Rodri and Declan Rice with De Bruyne just ahead in a double pivot? What a midfield that is! That is by far the best midfield in the league. Hamed says Rice will sell for 110 million, hopefully somewhere in that region. If City come in with 90 plus 15, I think they'll just say yeah and get it done early in the window. Well, yeah, there's sort of differing sort of views. It's either 75 plus 15 or around 90 plus 15. So we are waiting to see the official confirmation from a top source that the bid has actually gone in and we know the details of it. Terry says agree. I'd have some of that. Plus, we know City will win some. Exactly, there's a guarantee there. With Man City, it's the only club in England with a guarantee they will win trophies. You know, they will win trophies. That's undeniable. And that's what he wants to do. So that's why I think he'll move to Man City. GCSEs, actually. But yeah, I get what you mean. I will make the most of it. Don't you worry. And bring you these lunchtime shows as well, which I couldn't have done otherwise. It's a joy. Gemma, thanks for joining us. City to buy Rice and do the Invincibles next season. That was Heat After. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine them doing the Invincibles next season? Could you imagine they're on the run to the Invincibles, but then we go up to the Etihad and beat them on the final day to stop them being Invincibles? Could you imagine that? What a story that would be. What a story. I know. Right, moving on then. We'll come back to Declan Rice in just a second, but I've got so much to get through on today's show. Paqueta, things about Paqueta coming up. But first, I want to start with the Coventry striker, Victor Gyokeres. West Ham are ready to push, is what Fabrizio Romano claimed last night. For Coventry striker Victor Gyokeres, in the coming days, we will have to fend off interest from 4 other Premier League clubs for the signature for the Coventry striker. I've got a few stats for you. In his championship career in his last season in the championship, he played 46 games, 21 goals, 10 assists. So that is 31 goal contributions in 46 games for Coventry last season. Of course, Coventry just narrowly missing out on promotion. I think it was a penalty shootout they lost to Luton in the end. So of course this would have been off the table if Coventry were promoted to the Premier League, but they narrowly missed out on promotion. They've got another season in the Championship and their star striker has interest from other clubs, and we are one of them. I'd be excited if this deal got over the line. I'm not sure how much they want from him. This is at a very sort of, talking stage at the moment. We're not, we haven't lodged any bids yet. We've just shown an interest, as we have done in Alex Scott's. We've got a couple of championship targets. Alex Scott I discussed yesterday, so go back to yesterday's show to hear my thoughts on Alex Scott. But we now have a couple of championship targets that we're aware of, which sounds very much like David Moyes, which sounds like 2 targets that wouldn't surprise me if David Moyes were going for. But to be honest, I can't see us signing too many players, spending too much money until the Declan Rice deal goes over the line, so we can balance the books a bit and get a bit of money into the old kitty. But at the end of the day, I don't know too much about him from his stats and from what I've heard from people that watched the Championship week in week out last season. He was very good. A sort of centre forward, second striker, more of a centre forward target man up front, which could fit in to what David Moyes wants to do. And I'd be excited if we signed this young striker. I think how old is he? Let me find out. He is just 25 years old, so he's reaching his peak. Swedish international. He's played for Sweden on an international level as well. So it would be a good, astute sign if we get him for about £20 million. I would not say no at all. Fire, thanks for joining me. So yeah, what's your thoughts, guys? Gyokeres. Would you take him at West Ham? Do you think that's a good option? Another Championship outlet, of course. We've got a couple of them running at the moment after our success with Jarrod Bowen. Flynn Downs hasn't been a success yet, but I still do think Moyes will continue to delve in to the Championship transfer market. Moving on, a couple of slides on Paqueta now. Now, this was released yesterday from a random source. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. According to that, a foreign source, Newcastle are interested in signing Lucas Paqueta in a deal worth over £60 million. When I wrote the script for this show last night, I sort of sat there thinking, yeah, I could see that happening. They got plenty of money. He could be partnering Bruno Guimaraes, his Brazilian midfield partner. He could be with him up at Newcastle. But then we had X's update a little bit earlier on. Now I'm not going to disclose fully what he said because that's unfair. But reports are suggesting Lucas Paqueta is happy at West Ham, and he does have a minor injury, but he will remain in East London for next season. That's not officially confirmed. He could still go, but we're expecting him to remain in East London. He's happy, he's settled, and he's ready to go again for West Ham next season. Of course, it's been a difficult season for him. It took him a while to get going. He had plenty of opportunities, and towards the end of the season, he really began to come into his own. It was obvious, it was evident from games we've been to. You can really see his off the ball work, getting stuck in, really giving it a go, and that flair coming through, and everything sort of just mixed together to fit in really nicely for Lucas Paqueta towards the end of the season. And then, of course, the scenes with us winning the Conference League and the bus parade, he looked like he was having the absolute time of his life, which is good. So, I mean, the injury, somebody started a rumour that he'd broken his collarbone. That is incorrect. He's got a minor injury to his shoulder/back. So hopefully he can get that sorted before the start of next season. That should be able to happen, and hopefully we'll have a fully fit Lucas Paqueta ready to fire, ready for his second Premier League season, and hopefully from the start, from the get-go, being a real issue for for opposition teams. Next up, we're going to discuss what UEFA gave us yesterday. It's disappointing, isn't it? UEFA have charged West Ham 50,000 euros, but you get what I mean. And they've banned West Ham away fans from our first European away game next season. So basically, to explain it, what they've done is they've banned West Ham away fans from entering the stadium in our first game, in our first European away game of next season, and then a suspended one for the next season after as well. I think it's if the behaviour continues, or if they deem necessary, they can also give us one for the year after as well for the first game. So I think we've got away with it quite lightly, to be honest with you. They could have given us, a 2 or 3 on the bounce away fan ban, which would have been absolutely disastrous for all our plans to get away, to get to a European away day next season. I think there's still some that will go if it's close. I think we'll still get a fair few that will go over to the city and have a couple of day bender, even though they're not getting into the stadium. But it's disappointing, of course, for people to do every single game. It's disappointing, of course, but it is what it is. It was to be expected after that disastrous vape and cup incident in the final where he cut his head. I don't know whether it was a cup or a vape or whatever it was, but we were chucking stuff, real stupidity, really chucking stuff, and we got what we deserved. And I think we got away quite lightly. The ban, well, we don't care about. It's not our money, but it's a bit of a blow with the away fan ban. But it is what it is. Returning to Declan Rice, then to finish things off. Just a short, sharp show today. Get your thoughts in for Declan Rice. It's good. It is good for me. I'm happy that Man City were coming in. I had doubts in the last few days whether they would, but now, of course, they were just waiting for the deal of Ilkay Gundogan to go through. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed now that has gone through. Here we go. He's gone to Barcelona, which is nice for Gundogan. So they've lost their captain now, and they needed a replacement. Of course they do, and it looks like they're going to find it in Declan Rice. Their first bid in the region of £90 million. I'm expecting. I know nothing, but I'd hope we reject that and they come in with a bid north of £100 million and we'll snap their hand off for it, and then we'll get the money in. And we're hearing it was in around 2 instalments as well, not the measly 5 or 6 instalments that Arsenal were proposing last week. So they're really getting down to business. They're not hanging about Man City, and Arsenal will have to act quickly and in the right fashion if they still want to get the signature of their number one target, Declan Rice. Let's do a roundup of what we've discussed today, of course. So West Ham are ready to push for Coventry striker Victor Gyokeres, a real young talent, just 25 years of age, ripped it up in the Championship last season with over 30 goal contributions in the Championship campaign last season. Narrowly missed out on promotion with Coventry, so a move to the Premier League is to be expected, with 4 other Premier League clubs interested in the Sweden international. A couple of stories on Lucas Paqueta. We're hearing from a source that, take it with a pinch of salt, that Newcastle were interested in signing the Brazilian to make him the partner of fellow Brazilian Bruno Guimaraes. But we've also heard today that Lucas Paqueta is happy and is settled in East London and is ready for next season if he can get this slight minor injury that he's currently got to his shoulder and back sorted, and he'll be ready to play in claret and blue next season. Of course, after he said on the bus for the bus parade in one of the interviews, "See you next season," as he's ready to talk English next season, him and Kara had a bit of a laugh on one of the West Ham interviews. So it was to be expected, but to have that slight more, bit of confirmation with that is very, very good. And of course, UEFA have dished out a £50,000 fine and an away fan ban to our first European away game in the Europa League next season after the cup/vape throwing incident in Prague. Of course, yeah, thank you very much indeed, everybody, for watching. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you are new. Chris says, do you think you deserve that one game Euro ban? Possibly, yeah, I think so. It was disastrous. It was pathetic. It was silly, whoever threw that. To be fair, there was always going to be a bit of ag there, wasn't there? £2 a pint in Prague, 3-day bender, allowing pints in the view of the pitch, which we now know is why we don't have that in the UK. There was always going to be a few drunk, peed up idiots that were going to do something they regretted, and we've now all got to pay the price for it. But in the end, it's probably warranted, because it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Terry says, seems a bit unfair, Chris, taking into consideration Frankfurt didn't get punished last year. Yeah, I think they got a slight fine and that was it. And there's been question marks over whether Alkmaar will get anything for storming and trying to get to our to our friends and family area in the stadium over in Alkmaar. But it is what it is. We can't do nothing about it now. It was to be expected. Of course, I'm a little bit, but it was to be expected. We probably deserved it. And well, let's hope we haven't got a good away day on the first one. Let's hope we're down in Kazakhstan for the first away game. The second one, we're in somewhere nice like Belgium or something. Get in the car, get to Calais, and let's get to a European away day. Yeah. I don't know, that's still outstanding. So Alkmaar haven't received theirs yet. I think somebody's put on Twitter yesterday. They haven't been given anything yet. It's outstanding, and it's to be discussed by UEFA very soon. So it will be interesting to see what Alkmaar get. But that is your roundup of West Ham news. City are going, if they haven't already, bid for Rice. Paqueta seems to be happy. Can we be in for Victor Gyokeres, the Coventry striker? And of course, as we've just discussed, the UEFA away fan ban. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow for some more West Ham news. It's probably going to be about Declan Rice. It's a thing on everybody's mind at the moment. But from me, thanks very much to everybody that has been watching in the chat. Come on, you irons, and we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Official. City, Arsenal. Who's going to get Rice? Let's hope it's City. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.